Welcome to episode 33 of the Family Geekery Podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm Amber.
And I'm Danny.
And today we're going to be talking about Black Panther, the character, the movie, the comics, a little bit of everything. But before that, let's catch up with anything that happened this week. Anything happened this week?
Yeah. Last night, so Friday night, for all you people listening when we upload this, Saturday night, not Friday night, was the World's Finals for League of Legends. It was T1 versus DRX, and DRX ended up winning, which was kind of cool because they were the fourth seed from Korea, meaning they had to go through play-ins to even compete at Worlds, and they did that and ended up going all the way to win, which was really impressive to me. Unfortunately, T1, which has got Faker as the mid laner, he is probably the most famous pro player of League of Legends. Unfortunately, he lost, and people were thinking that he was going to retire, at least I was, but he said he's coming back on an Instagram post, so I'm thinking he just wants one more Worlds title before he retires, and I was hoping that was going to be this one, but I'm not disappointed in DRX winning all the way from play-ins.
So Faker, that's his name?
Yeah.
So Faker is the Tom Brady of League of Legends.
Yes, he is.
If he would have won, he would have retired, but he didn't, so he's got to get divorced and come back and try to win again.
It was actually
That's
really
horrible.
funny because...
I apologize, Tom, if you're listening.
Tom, you're on first name basis with Tom Brady.
Yeah. We go way back.
But it was really funny because Deft is the ADC of DRX, and they were kind of the two main big names on each of their respective teams coming into the finals, and they went to the same high school in Korea. So It was kind of funny that these guys that have known each other and have kind of competed against each other for like 10 years are finally competing against each other in the finals. So it was pretty cool. It was really fun to watch. Went to 5 games. It was a best of 5, so that was really fun. And it was actually hosted in America this year, so didn't have to start watching it at like 1 a.m. like I did when it was like in China last year. So
that's always a plus.
Yeah. Good
Nice.
stuff. Good games.
Do you watch any of that, Danny?
No, I forgot it was going on.
Lame.
Yeah.
Keep up with the esports. Come on.
Yeah. I also watched the Overwatch Worlds. Well, it wasn't Worlds. I don't know what they call it. That was the night previous. And I don't really know anything about the teams, but Dallas won, the Dallas team. So, I don't know. It was kind of cool, but really weird.
Have they gotten Aerosmith to play the halftime show yet?
No. They had Lil Nas X at Worlds, though, League of Legends.
I guess that's almost an equivalent.
He's like, he's today's Aerosmith. No, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know who today's Aerosmith is.
Probably not Lil Nas X.
Cool. How about you, Dan? Anything go on this week?
Not much. I started a new anime. It's called like the shortened version is called Snafu. It's like a romance comedy about a guy who I think he needs like something to graduate, or he's doing bad in school and he has to join this like community service club with this girl, and yeah, that's basically it. But I just started it.
Do you know what snafu means?
No.
It's an acronym. I believe it was born out of like the military, because military always has acronyms for everything. But it stands for situation normal, all effed up. So when you say something is snafu, it means it's completely like messed up, but that's normal for us.
Yeah, it has a really long name. It's like something romantic comedy but that's like the shortened version of it.
So you're not watching that chainsaw show? Do you know what I'm talking? Have you seen the memes?
People talk about it, but I haven't seen it.
On Twitter, I see all the memes of like people like they were carving pumpkins and putting like the chainsaw face on a pumpkin. And I have no clue what that is or what it's from, but I just see it everywhere.
Apparently, it was like 4 episodes.
Oh, maybe I should watch it then.
Chainsaw Man.
That's what it's called?
Yeah.
Cool. And for me, I did a little, I've been doing some play testing for some YouTube videos of the streaming services like Xbox, PlayStation, even like Steam Link and stuff like that, using an iPhone or an Android phone as the playing device, using a controller. So I did get to play a little Tony Hawk that way to see if it worked, and I played
Nice.
like some NBA 2K23, and I'm playing some what's it called, Forza 5, Forza Horizon 5. So just playing a couple different types of games, and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder game, the new one that came out, and testing out some things. So check out the YouTube channel. You'll see some play tests of me and my big hands trying to play delicate games on an iPhone and an Android phone.
Nice.
I'm still have mixed feelings on it though, because sometimes the streaming quality isn't great. It's just not. I just don't know the application.
Like, just get a Switch, easy.
Yeah, I guess. But I guess if I had like a 2-hour commute on a train or something, then that would be an option. But
true. For
the people that are just streaming it from their PlayStation to their couch, I just don't get it. Just freaking get a TV. Get another TV. It's almost Black Friday. You can get one for 42 cents at Walmart. All right, so we're going to talk about Black Panther because the movie Black Panther Wakanda Forever is coming out, next weekend as we're recording this. And we're excited about that. The first movie was obviously excellent.
Yeah.
This movie is going to be a little bittersweet, of course, because Chadwick Boseman, we lost him in the interim.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to deal with that like right out the gate, right? They're going to...
I think so.
And, everybody's kind of speculated what's going to be the cause. Is it some secret mission that happened, in between the movies that he got injured on, or if it's a sickness? I think the biggest rumor or leak that I've seen is it's an illness, which is rough. That'd be a little close to home, but we'll see about that. Seen a couple of the previews so far, you guys.
Yeah, I saw the preview, but I saw a picture. I don't know if this was the premiere. I don't know if the premiere happened yet or what it was, but the girl who plays the sister actually was dressed in a suit that was really similar to the one that Chadwick Boseman wore at some other point, probably to the first Black Panther premiere. But I saw a TikTok on that. I was like, oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, I saw that too.
I don't know if they haven't really like said who the successor is going to be, right?
Right.
Shuri seems like a logical person, but so does Nakia, because she was in the comics. She's one of the war dogs, which is like a fighting crew. So she's well trained in fighting.
Is Nakia his girlfriend or the Michonne's character?
His girlfriend.
Oh, okay. This is my speculation, but I think it's going to be the sister purely based on the fact that she has shorter hair in the movie, and Nakia seems to have like braids, like long braids, that I feel like they would keep her hair short if she was going to be like in the suit with like a hat on.
Makes sense.
You don't think Wakanda has the technology to
well, they might, but
make long braids?
Hollywood. Yeah, I don't know.
They can cloak an entire like country, but they can't cloak her hair in a suit. They need to step up their game. It's funny in the comics. There's no like cloaking going on. It's just trees. Like,
Yeah.
no one saw past the trees. But yeah, so we picked out a couple comics to read. Nothing that is tied in with the movie itself. Well, maybe the last one that we read, the Defenders one that we read, might be a little bit of a tie-in. But I picked 4 issues that kind of spell out the origin story of Black Panther. So 3 of them specifically spell out the origin story, and then 1 is Black Panther's first encounter with Namor, the Prince of Atlantis, which will be featured in the movie, which is another reason I'm super excited, because Namor was always one of my favorite comic book characters, mostly because he was like a superhero, right?
Yeah.
But he had mixed feelings about the the air breathers. So at any given time, he could just completely lay waste to all Earthlings, because he wasn't sure if we were taking care of the planet. So that was one reason, and the other reason is because I loved in the old days having, whether it was the trading cards or the comic called Marvel Universe, which was basically just like an encyclopedia. Now we just buy like the big book, the encyclopedia, right? That's got everybody's backstory. Well, they had the Marvel Universe, which was kind of like a collection of characters with their stats and stuff. And a lot of those type things, whether it's that or the trading cards, it would rank everybody's strength, intelligence, agility, and all that stuff, and give them a rating of 1 to 10 or something. And Namor is like one of the strongest. So I always thought that was pretty cool. He's just some fish dude. He's like Aquaman, but he can fly and he's really strong. So looking forward to that. So let's talk about some of these comics. We got Fantastic Four 52 and 53. Those being his first appearance, 52 specifically. Then we've got Avengers number 87, which is, they say, tells the untold story of Black Panther. Like, well, they told it before.
In
fact, they reused some of the actual drawings.
No, I noticed that.
And then the fourth one we picked was Defenders number 84, which is the one where it's the first encounter between Black Panther and Namor. So let's kick it off with the Fantastic Four 52 and 53. And am I covering this one?
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so I think Fantastic Four 52 started off with an emissary from Wakanda inviting the Fantastic Four to Wakanda by giving them a flying car that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So they're flying around in the car. Well, it's just the 3 of them because Johnny Storm is at college. He's doing the college thing instead of saving the world.
That was surprising to me.
Bad guys can only do things on the weekends when he's home from school, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So
they're tooling around in this car, and they think it's really cool, and they're making Ben Grimm get car sick, basically, or air sick. And then the dude from Wakanda's like, well, you can keep this car if you come visit Wakanda. The Black Panther wants you to come visit. So they're like, okay, we can do that. So they go pick up Johnny Storm from college. And he's like, oh, cool, okay, I'll come, but can my best friend come too? So his roommate, which is Wyatt Wingfoot, which they've done a real bad job. I don't know if you guys agree that they've done a bad job making him look like a Native American, but he's clearly Native American.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, see?
See, I didn't know until they said a particular color, and I was like, oh.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
That's what we're going with. Okay.
But I guess they didn't want to accentuate that particular color.
Mm-hmm.
So but he's got the innate ability to sleep, I guess. He can sleep and he can run really fast, but he has no superpowers. I don't know if you guys caught that
Yeah.
either. He doesn't
Yeah.
have superpowers, but he's just really fast, and he's got, well, I guess being a Native American is a superpower in itself. The skills that he's got. So they all load up in this thing and fly to Wakanda really quickly, I guess, where the Black Panther is preparing for a great hunt. He has invited them there for a great hunt, with the Fantastic Four not knowing that they are the ones to be hunted. So they show up and he just instantly attacks them, and he tries to separate them with some weird magnetic repulsor rays so that they can't, fight together against him, and he starts picking them off one by one. He's got like an asbestos room for Johnny Storm to keep him at bay. Asbestos being fire resistant. And then, let's see, what did he do for Ben Grimm? Oh, he had, I guess he knew Ben Grimm's just gonna rip things up and start tearing stuff up. So he basically made everything that he thought Ben Grimm was going to touch, like weaken him, like electrocute him and weaken him or something.
He looked really goofy.
Yeah.
He also talked really goofy.
And then he had a kind of an awkward encounter with Sue Storm, basically stalking her, saying,
Yeah.
You can turn invisible, but I can still hear you. And then so she starts being silent, and he's like, you can be silent, but I can still smell you.
Lovely.
So I can still feel your vibrations as you walk. So he basically incapacitates her, and then goes after Reed Richards. And I guess by the time he's fighting with Reed Richards, Wyatt Wingfoot comes to rescue his buddy, and sets the Human Torch free, and then Human Torch sets the rest of them free, and then so that it ends at basically a stalemate. But Black Panther is very happy that he was able to do his best against them, and he's gearing up to take on his arch enemy, Ulysses Claw. Now, do you remember Ulysses Claw from the movies?
Is he the one? Did he have like a robotic arm or something?
Yeah, I think he lost his arm in one of the movies. I forget how he lost it.
He was in like an earlier movie, and then he came back for Black Panther, right?
Yeah, he was in
like Iron Man or something.
It was one of them. He was trying to get the vibranium.
Yeah.
Oh, Age of Ultron.
Okay.
Yeah, because they were trying to get vibranium to make Ultron out of that or something.
Oh, okay.
But it's the character that Andy Serkis plays.
Yeah.
And Andy Serkis doesn't usually play a character that you see.
He's usually a monkey or...
he's like the best mocap person in the world. But in this case, it's actually Andy Serkis. And they had called him Ulysses Claw, and I think it's like CLAU or something in the movies. They I think they called it, what do they call that when you anglicize your name or something? Because he was of German descent.
Oh.
So his arch enemy, Ulysses Claw, or just Claw for short, who had killed in the comics, had killed T'Chaka, shot him or something.
Yeah.
Bad. Which made T'Challa in the comics into the Black Panther. A little different than how they did it in the movies, but so he is thinking that he's going to come back at any point now, and he's going to be able to have his revenge on him. So that's why he wanted to make sure that if he could hold his own against the Fantastic Four, then he should be ready to hold his own against Claw when he came back. So as they're actually there, right, I think they're still visiting Wakanda, and Claw does attack after all. And Claw has the ability of changing sound into matter, right? So he can change like sound waves into, which is kind of like almost like Dazzler.
I was like,
I ship him and Dazzler.
No.
They could mess up a joint if it started playing some loud music. But he can do that, and once he lost his arm, because when he killed T'Chaka, then the Black Panther had like shot at him and blew his arm off. So he had affixed some device on his arm that was a sound device that could do that in small quantities at least. And then, but he has set up, Claw has set up in a nearby cave near to Wakanda a big version of what his Claw does, and he's making these big things, these big animals, big huge gorillas and elephants and all kinds of stuff out of sound, and they're tearing stuff up in Wakanda. But the good guys find him and they take care of him. They blow up the machine, and it collapses a cave, and he is supposedly trapped in there, but nobody knows for sure if he's done for or not. I don't think he is.
Well, they show him at the end.
Yeah, I think he makes it out, of course, as bad guys often do. So that is kind of the origin story of, he was a young kid when his father died. Then he had to become the Black Panther and lead his nation. But then they skip a bunch of stuff in the middle, right? From when he's a kid to when he's an adult ready for Claw to come back. There's a lot missing in the middle. Now that lot missing in the middle was, and this was in 1966. These episodes, July and August of '66. So we fast forward about 5 years to April 1971 with Avengers number 87, which tells the untold tale, the origin that's never been told before of the Black Panther. So who's covering Avengers 87?
That would be me.
All right, take it away.
So it starts out with like the Avengers and Black Panther is like kind of sulking, like he misses Wakanda and stuff. And Vision is just like, well, at least you have a home to miss.
Yeah. Homesick is something I do not know.
And then they're like, oh, so tell us more. And he goes into his untold story, origin story.
I have a quick question, though, about who is the other blonde Avenger that was in there?
Yeah, I don't know who he is either.
That's Clint Barton.
Wait, what?
He's the Goliath.
Okay, they said Goliath Hawkeye, and I was like...
He's bigger.
Yeah. So several people had used the Pym particles to become big, not just Hank Pym. So in this case, Goliath was a couple different characters were Goliath, but in this case it's Clint Barton. That's why he's got the sexy blonde hair. Because that's Hawkeye, just really big form.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
I wonder if he had a huge bow and arrow, though. Probably not.
But yeah, he goes into like his origin story with his dad and growing up, and it also shows the guy who can do sound transformation. And then his father dies, and basically they're like, you need to go out and learn stuff and grow before you can come back. So he goes and goes to regular high school with his friend, and they just do regular, normal teenage things together. So when him and his friend come back from high school and normal high school things,
And college.
College.
I don't know if they listed it in this comic, but he went to like Oxford, and he went to like all the finest schools to become the smartest he could be.
He was real smart. He was doing science things.
Yeah.
Wow.
And like sports.
Yeah. Swimming. So when he comes back, they're like, well, your dad had a couple other things before you can be the main guy here. So he has to fight like 6 people, and then he has to stay overnight in this plateau thing. And so that's where he finds like the Black Panther thing. to become Black Panther.
The like heart-shaped herb.
Yes.
That's what finally gives him his powers.
I don't think we ever even get a picture of the heart-shaped herb.
No, it's kind of weird. It shows him looking for it, and then it shows him have already consumed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, did they not want to draw it? Like,
I guess
you're
not.
saying it's heart-shaped, and you're not even showing us.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny.
So then he's Black Panther, but then these guys in yellow suits who look like they're from Monsters Inc.
Yeah, really.
They're like, we want your vibranium, so they attack him, and he fights back, but they get him down, and they want the vibranium for the moon travels with the U.S. and Russia.
Yeah, AIM. They're like AIM people, and they want to win the space race faster than America and Russia, I guess.
Yeah. And
so what time frame is this? Is this not 69 yet? The issue was in 71. Have we not made it? Did we not make it to the moon yet?
The landing was fake. Didn't happen.
They faked it because they needed a Black Panther vibranium.
Yeah, they couldn't do it without vibranium.
Oh, I get. Well, he is telling his backstory, right? So he's still in the Avengers mansion. Yeah. So he's telling his backstory. So yeah, that would make sense.
Hmm.
They didn't mess up. We're just stupid. We don't know how to read.
None of us were born then, anyways.
That's what you think. But Black Panther's like, well, I want to know who you are and why you're like coming for me. So like, take off your suit. And
he's like sus of the regent. This whole time he's thinking, oh, the regent's trying to like take over my crown, and so he's thinking it's him, right?
Mm-hmm. But no, it's his friend, his roommate. Oh,
classic
he does say college roommate, so they did go to college together.
Nice.
And basically he's like, yeah, I've been in your shadow like your whole life, so I wanted to take control. And so they have a little fight, and Black Panther kills him?
No.
Oh. Oh, he's in his arms. I thought he killed him.
Well, the AIM people are like, hey, maybe you can kill him. If this is your life dream, maybe you can kill him. So the friend's like, yes, I will do that. And they all leave. And so he's about to shoot him. And T'Challa's like, hey, come on, you don't want to do this. We're friends. You know me. And then he doesn't shoot him. And the AIM people had put a bug on the friend, and they're like, yeah, we didn't trust you. You betrayed your whole country. And what made you think that you wouldn't betray us? So then they like try to kill him, and he kind of jumps in front of the bullet of that was aimed at T'Challa. So he dies instead of T'Challa.
Yes.
You agree, Danny?
You agree.
But that's basically what he explains to the Avengers. And they're like, yeah, we got sad backstories for us superheroes.
Buff Hawkeye's like, yo, we're all sad.
And Vision's probably like, but at least you guys have something. And then Black Panther dashes into the distance.
I thought it was funny how Scarlet Witch was the one that told Vision, like, stop being so melodramatic.
Yeah.
Like, man up. Grow a pair.
So in that comic, it said that he was like deciding whether he should go back home and be the king, or stay and be a teacher. Was he like a teacher
Like a
in the
teacher
slums? It was like he's a
in the
hood teacher. Like,
in the hood.
um, okay, stereotypes.
Where can I do more good? Helping the inner city children learn, or being at the on the throne of the most wealthy country in the world.
At least by this comic, they had an accurate skin tone for him.
Yeah.
He was a little gray in the Fantastic Four movies or
Like
issues.
Frankenstein.
Yeah.
He had a big forehead.
Yeah, Danny sent us a picture like, it looks like Frankenstein.
He did.
All right, so the
Yeah.
next issue is the Defenders 84. What year was this from?
June of 1980.
Okay, so quite a few years after this, after the last one. Okay. So this one starts off with Namor and Doctor Strange, and I guess they're just kind of relaxing after they saved the world. And they're in Atlantis, right? This is where this all takes place. And I guess whatever big bad they just defeated, they decided to put inside the Hulk's brain instead of, because that was the best way to get rid of it, I guess.
Right.
So they have the Hulk, like basically just they keep putting him to sleep, making sure he stays asleep. And so I don't know why, just because.
Until
And
his brain can heal, I think, from the trauma of absorbing the bad guy.
So they're doing that, and Doctor Strange pieces out because he's got to go back home to New York. And then we see on this island off the coast of Wakanda, we've got these people that are like Atlanteans. Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got these Atlanteans making a deal with a Wakandan guy to buy some vibranium. So they're doing that, and all of a sudden Black Panther comes in and is like, hey guys, this is mine, back off. So he starts beating them up, but a few of the Atlanteans got away. They were like smart and didn't want to fight Black Panther. So Black Panther steals the like car, with lack of a better term for what they were using,
Right.
water car that the pirates were using, and he follows the guys that were escaping, and follows them all the way to Atlanta. You know, making sure that his like right hand man, I guess, knows where he's going and what's up. So he finally goes, and he's like, "Oh, I'm there," and then we go.
Which Atlantis is strangely really close to the coast of Africa.
Yeah. So Namor's chilling in Atlantis with he doesn't know that this was happening. The guy that was in charge, I guess, while Namor was gone, kind of organized this, and he's like, "Well, you're responsible for this now because you're the prince of Atlantis." And Namor is upset that they did this without him, because he's the prince. He should be making the decisions. So he wants to do a warm welcome for whoever is coming, because they know that somebody's coming to Atlantis to attack them, basically. So Namor's planning on giving a warm welcome. He gets rid of the water in the landing bay, just so the person feels welcome and he's all alone without like guards, I guess. And then he discovers that it's Black Panther, and Black Panther's like, "Oh, hello, Namor." And I don't know what happens, why they just are both so angry at each other just immediately. Like, neither of them were in charge of the issues that happened. Like Black Panther's people took Namor's people prisoner, and Namor is upset about that, and Black Panther's upset that Namor's people were trying to steal from them anyways. So they're both just angry for things that they didn't individually do. So they fight about it. But first, we snap back to Doctor Strange just to know that he got home safe and sound, and to Clea, who we saw in Multiverse of Madness end credit scene.
That's right.
So they're happy, and I thought that was cool that we got to see her. A small little sneak peek before we see more of her in the MCU. And so she's there having a girls' party with Hellcat and who's the blonde?
I forget.
Val.
Oh, that's Valkyrie.
Oh, okay. Cool. Oh, yeah, they did say that later on. So basically, they're like, we're going to make Defenders 2, the new Defenders. And I guess that happens. So then we go back to Atlantis, and Namor decides to flood the water again. Like, okay, I'm mad at you. I want to bring the water back because Namor can both breathe in the water and the air because he's special.
He's the only Atlantean that can breathe the air.
Cool. And has wings on his feet for some reason.
Because a lot of people did back in the 70s in Marvel Comics. Just like a lot of people had the gray sideburns, a lot of people had wings on their feet too.
So Black Panther's
except for Wyatt Wingfoot.
Yeah, he doesn't have wing feet.
The one person named after the wing feet, he doesn't have the wing feet.
So Black Panther's pretty smart. He does have like a little water breathing apparatus, but he's like, I don't need to use it if I don't have to, which weird flex, I guess. But he knows that like if water's coming in, air's got to go somewhere. So he goes into a vent and kind of roams around in there for a little bit. And then he sees there's another section of this facility. Is Atlantis just like a facility, like underwater?
I didn't know that before, but it seemed like it's like they called it like a huge ship.
Oh.
So I don't know if it's mobile, and that explains why it's so close to Wakanda.
Okay. So Black Panther's confused why there's another part of this ship, I guess, that has air instead of water. So he goes in there and kicks off the helmets of the Atlanteans that are in there, so they have to flee because they can't breathe anymore. And he finds a sleeping Bruce Banner, because Bruce Banner had, while he was asleep, he had transformed back from the Hulk. So Bruce Banner, Black Panther wakes him up, and he's angry and upset that people were trying to make him sleep. And so the Atlanteans come in, and Hulk's like, you made me sleep. I didn't want to sleep. I'm going to smash you. So Hulk starts smashing.
That's what Hulks are good for.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Namor's upset that Hulk's out. Hulk's upset that Hulk is there, and he jumps out of the ship into the water.
He launches himself into the air.
Well, that's later. That's after.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. He smashes through the water.
Yeah, he smashes through the wall into the water. Black Panther also goes too, and so does Namor. Black Panther luckily gets picked up by his people because he had communicated that he was going there. So his people came and picked him up on one of their boats. And Namor is trying to save the Hulk because the Hulk didn't take in a breath before he went into the water, because that would have saved him, as they so detailed explained to us.
Very, very wordy, these old
very
comics.
Detailed, yes. So Namor saves Hulk, and the Wakandans are like, they've got things prepared. They've got nuclear weapons ready, and so does Atlantis. And so, there's like the news. People are like, hey, there might be a nuclear war between Atlantis and Wakanda. And so we get a couple of reactions from across the world. Then the Hulk wakes up and just jumps out, and the Wakandans see this and they're like, "Oh my god, it's a missile! It's going to come to us. We've got to shoot a missile too." And so they shoot a missile, but it's not a missile that was coming from Atlantis. It was Hulk. So Black Panther finally wakes up and is like, "Yo, you did what? You shot a missile?" Then calls Namor and is like, "Yo, can you redirect this? Like, we didn't mean to do this, or I didn't want them to do this." So Namor redirects it at the island, the Kyber's Island, which was at the beginning where they were. I guess they had all evacuated. I hope so, at least. So that's where the missile goes. And we kind of just stop there with it being their first interaction. Both people trying not to start a war, but really wanting to.
It's funny that so Namor has to fly up in the air and redirect by punching or bumping this missile. And he says, I redirected it to the only place where it won't hurt anybody. Well, what about all of the ocean? You hit an island.
Yeah.
You hit the one thing in the body of water that you shouldn't have. Just put it in the ocean. But I guess
if it hit the ocean, then it could like ripple out and hurt his people. But
or it could hurt the fishies. Yeah, I guess being an Atlantean, he'd rather it hit some kind of earth structure. Why not just like bump it into space? That's what Iron Man would have done.
That's what Iron Man did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that was good interaction. I don't think that's going to be the same type of interaction that they're going to have in the movies, but maybe somewhat similar. It's funny how it's just a big misunderstanding other than the selling of the, and they called it technology. I don't know if it was, I think it was like devices, not just vibranium, which is funny because the Black Panther is so upset that his people are selling this stuff because it's his birthright, or it's their birthright, right? It's their stuff.
They had this land,
but at the same time, he's always bragging about how rich he is, and he said he got rich by selling off a little bit of the vibranium in the first place. He's like, "Yeah, I sold some of that off so I could be like super rich." So
he was just a little college boy.
When his cohorts are selling it off, it's like, "Hey, you can't do that, man. That's our birthright. That's not cool." But yeah, good issues. I like the. I don't know if you noticed the Fantastic Four issues, the oldest ones. That was like classic Marvel. That was Stan Lee was the writer and Jack Kirby was the artist. It doesn't get any more classic than those two teaming up. Now
maybe he should have spent a little extra money to get a good color of skin tone, but that's okay.
Did you notice that Stan Lee was very very wordy in his scripting?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like half of each panel was thought or speech bubbles. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's because words are cheaper to make than drawings are, but now it's like almost exact opposite. You'll have like 3 or 4 pages of panels in a modern comic book with just outrageously good art, and then like a couple words here and there, like bam, biff, ouch.
It was funny how many like nicknames they had for Stan Lee. Like it was kind of reminded me of like Greek gods, how like you have gray-eyed Athena and stuff. Like Stan Lee epithets.
And what was Namor's war cry? Imperious Rex.
Imperious Rex.
Yeah. I wonder if they're going to work that into the movie. Think they're going to work that into the movie? He's just going to randomly yell Imperious Rex for no reason.
It's better than yelling Oedipus Rex. Sorry, I like the classics.
So I wasn't able to find us more modern ones to get us ready for the movie, but hopefully some of this will tie into the movie a little bit. We also know, because IMDb is nice this way, that we know that we have Riri Williams coming into the movie. The character Riri Williams, who is she?
Ironheart?
Ironheart, yeah. So she's like a super smart young kid that makes her own suit of armor.
Wow.
And she wants to impress Iron Man, but in this case, I guess she's just trying to live the legacy of Iron Man.
Is she from Wakanda or is she American?
They may, I'm not sure in the comics, but they may make her from there in the movies. I'm not sure.
Because I don't know, her name is like different from their names. Like she's got an Americanized name. I don't know.
She'd have to be like Riki Baku if she was from Wakanda. But very cool. So we are excited to see this movie coming up pretty soon.
Yeah.
Any other final thoughts on our exploration of early Black Panther?
I don't know. I liked seeing the origin story of him because in the movie we get a little bit of like the herb thing. You know, he has to go into the cave and drink the herb tea or whatever happens, and he has to like fight warriors or challengers. But it was cool seeing like the rest of it, like the people trying to come in and killing his dad. And sure, it's different from the movies, but I thought it was cool to see like a little bit of detail from that.
They did.
You know, with the Ulysses Claw and everything, they did kind of tie in some of the real stuff to the MCU.
Saying the MCU isn't real, saying comics are better. There's way more of them.
The movies are easier to ingest.
Yeah, it doesn't take you 20 minutes to read a 20-page or more than 20 minutes. I don't know.
Yep.
They should make a Black Panther origin movie with it's just him in high school and college, partying it up.
Yeah, let's get
winning the track meets.
Like what was that movie? Undeclared theme, like an undeclared styled, or super fun. Well, no. Oh. I don't know. Like, there's all kinds of those funny, like, high school, like, 2000s movies.
Yeah.
They could do something like that.
Freaks and Geeks.
Freaks and Geeks. Yeah.
reboot Freaks and Geeks. He could be one of the geeks. Like, always in the chemistry lab.
They can have a Human Torch in there, too.
That was surprising that Human Torch went to college because he's, like, in the movies, I was going to say the first movies, but in our ranking podcast episode from a while ago, we saw that there were other Fantastic Four movies before, like, the ones that I saw. But, like, Johnny was, like, a playboy kind of guy. It's funny that he went to college in the comics.
Is he, like, an underwear model?
Yeah, I don't... He was was he a motorcycle guy? He was like a daredevil, or
that's Johnny Blaze.
Yeah, I thought he was also on a motorcycle at some point.
He could be. I think he was taking the most advantage of being a celebrity.
Yeah,
he was making it work for him. Very cool. So I think that's going to wrap up this episode. What do you think, girls?
Yeah,
I'm excited for the movie.
I'm real excited.
Yep. So we thank you guys, as always, for listening to this podcast. Be sure to check out the YouTube channel and see what's going on there. But until next time, peace out and geek out. Thank you for listening to the Family Geekery podcast. For more information, visit www.familygeekery.com. Don't forget to subscribe at your favorite podcast provider. And until next time, peace out and geek out.